Hello, here we go again. Out of 95 travelers interviewed, 7 traveled by bus and train only, 3 traveled by train and car only, and 8 traveled by all 3 means of transport. The number X of travelers who traveled by bus only was equal to the number who traveled by bus and car only. If 47 people traveled by bus and 30 by train, represent this information in a Venn diagram. That's question 1. 2. Calculate the, from figure 1, value of X. From figure 2, number who traveled by at least 2 means of transportation. At least 2 means. Alright, so let's bring out the parameters as before. So the first question says, out of 95 travelers interviewed, so it means that the total number of travelers interviewed are 95. So that's the first information we have there. Number of universal set, that's the totality of all the people interviewed. Yeah, 95. Next, 7 traveled by bus and train only. There are 3 means of transportation, but bus and train only without involving car. There are 7 of them. So this is the representation for that. Those that traveled by bus and train only. Number that traveled by bus, intersection train, then intersection car prime. There are 7 of them. That is those that travel by bus and train only. That's bus and train without involving car. That's the representation for that. Then the next one, those that traveled by train and car only. Number that traveled by train and car only. There are 3 of them. So this is the representation for that. Number of travelers who traveled by train and car only. That's going to be bus prime, intersection train, intersection car. There are 3 of them. These are train and car only without involving bus. That's why bus is primed. Now, and 8 traveled by all 3 means of transport. So the 3 means of transport, that is number that traveled by bus, by train, by car. All together, there are 8 of them. So these are the people that travel by all 3 means of transportation. That's full stop. Then again, the number X. So there is a number, and that number is represented by X, of travelers who traveled by bus only. Bus only was equal to the number who traveled by bus and car only. So those that traveled by bus only, there are X. Those that traveled by bus and car only, they are also what? X. Look at the representation for that. Those that travel by bus only. So number of bus intersection train prime intersection car prime, that is equals to X. These are those that travel by bus only without using car and not using train, without using train and car. And this same number is equal to, was equal to the number who traveled by bus and car only. So the representation for bus and car only, that's going to be bus intersection train prime intersection car, and they are also equals to what? X, because the question says these 2 are equal by this statement. The number X of travelers who traveled by bus only was equal to the number who traveled by bus and car only. Bus and car only, and the X is the same. Okay, so the question proceeded again. If 47 people traveled by bus and 30 by train, this time around 47 people traveled by bus. It did not say bus only. 30 people traveled by train. It did not say train only. So those that traveled by bus are 47. So that's going to be number of those that traveled by bus. They are 47. And number of those that traveled by car and by train rather, they are 30. So these are all the information that has been given in the question. We now say represent this information in the Venn diagram. So we are going to be setting up our Venn diagram. The first circle is going to be for bus. The second circle is going to be for train. The third circle is going to be for car. And of course, the rectangle for the universal set. So, we begin to enter them one by one, starting from the innermost. The innermost, the one that contains, that affects the three of them. And the one that affects the three of them is 8, because the question says 8 traveled by all 3 means of transport. So those that travel by all 3 means of transport, there are 8 of them. So we'll start with the innermost, which is 8. Alright, that's being settled. This next one says 7 traveled by bus and train only. So these 7, they are for bus and train. They do not include car. So bus and train only. So this is bus and train only. This is the part for it. Again, it says 3 traveled by train and car only. 3 by train and car only. So that's 3. They do not involve bus. So 3. Train and car only. That's 3. Also, which other one did he give to us? Those that travel by bus only. Bus only, they do not involve train, they do not involve car. There is X. Bus only is X. Likewise, bus and car only without involving train. Bus and car only without involving train. That's also what? X. Now, it's proceeded to say those that travel by bus generally. Those that travel by bus generally. Look at the generalization for bus. So that tells us that if we have bus like this for the whole of this circle, they are supposed to be what? 47 bus generally. And if bus generally is 47, don't forget that inside this bus is where we have this 7. Inside this bus is where we have this 8. Inside this bus is where we have this X. Then bus only itself, without involving train and car, is still where we have this what? X. So the addition of everything here, this, and this must be equals to 47. That is what the question is saying. We'll get to that. Then, those that traveled by train, generally, they are 30. So the totality of train, the totality of all the circle for train, they are 30. How about train only? This says that this must be equals to 47. This must be equals to 30. So how about train only? So if everything is supposed to be 30, out of 30 we remove 3. That's going to be 27. From 27 we remove 7, that's going to be 20. From 20 we remove 8, that's going to be 12. So those that travel by train only, they will now be 12. I think these are all that are given in the question. So we have represented the question on the Venn diagram. Let me not clean yet. And this part that we do not know, we can represent it with what? With Y. I think it is clear enough. Based on what we have here now, we can now proceed to looking for the value of x, because the first question says represent this information on a Venn diagram that has been settled. Second one says calculate the value of x. So we want to calculate the value of x, not forgetting this information that we have already put down. Okay, so this is Roman figure 1, and then for Roman figure 2, and then this, from this Roman figure 2 again, we have this I. For us to get x, we already know that 7 plus 8, 7 plus 8 here, plus x, plus another x, everything must be equal to 47, based on the circle that I explained the other time. So 7 plus 8 is going to be 15, plus x, that's 2x. So that tells us that 2x added to 15 must be equals to 47. So 2x will be equals to 15, 47 minus 15, that's going to give us 32. So that tells us that x will be equals to 16 when we divide both sides by 2. So our x, the value of x has been gotten to be equals to 16. And 16 is the number of those that travel by bus only. And it's the same as the number of those that travel by what? Bus and car only. Alright, so the second question from this Roman figure 2 says the number who traveled by at least 2 means, by at least 2 means, by at least 2 means, when that's English, by at least 2 means that they can travel by 2 means of transportation, or by the whole 3 means of transportation. So those that travel by at least 2 means of transportation, there will be either this, which combines bus and car, or this, which combines train and car, or this, which combines bus and train, or even this, which combines the 3 of them, because the question says at least 2 means. So at least 2 means that the least is 2, it can go what? Up. So that's going to be number that traveled by at least 2 means, and that will be equal to 3 plus 7 plus x, and then plus 8. These are the 2's, and then there's a 3. Now, I haven't gotten the value of x already to be 16. So from what we have here, this becomes 3 plus 7 plus 16 plus 8. 3 plus 7 is 10. 10 plus 16 is 26. 26 plus 8 is 34. So those that travel by at least 2 means are 34. 34 travelers traveled by at least 2 means. Okay, you will notice that I was silent about this y, because the question actually does not require, based on all that we have answered, there is no one that concerns looking for the value of y. That's why I was silent about the value of y. But then, if the question had asked us to look for the value of y, what do we do to get the value of y? This is what we need to do. We just need to ask, after we might have gotten the value of x, which is already 16, x plus 16 plus 7 plus 12 plus 16 plus 8 plus 3, and then plus y must be equal to the universal set. And the universal set that was given is what? 95. So, of course, when you set that out, 16 plus 16 is 32. 32 plus 7 is 39. 39 plus 8 is 47. 47 plus 3, that's 50. 50 plus 12 is 62. So when you take away 62 from 95, that's going to give you the value of y. And of course, that should be 33, which will be the value of y. And that y will be those that travel by what? Car only. Those that travel by car only. And I think with this, they are clear enough for us to get. Thank you for your time.